Good morning, everyone. Today we want to discuss the book The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu was a military general who lived in ancient China more than 2000 years ago. According to old records, a king became interested in his ideas and asked Sun Tzu to prove that his methods are really worked. Sun Tzu then trained the king's own soldiers to show his theory in practice. After that, he helped the king win many battles because of this. His book became one of the oldest and most famous books about strategy and leadership. Before we start to debate, let us explain the main ideas of the book. First, Sun Tzu says that all warfare is based on deception. This means good strategy often hides information from the other side. Second, he says that the best kind of victory is winning without a real fight. For Sun Tzu, breaking the opponent's plans is better than a direct battle. Third, he says that if you know yourself and you know your opponent, you do not need to fear the result. Knowledge about both sides is the key to good decisions. These three ideas are the foundation of our debate today.
Our question today is Sun Tzu's logic of war still useful in our modern business? Or is transparency and cooperation the better strategy? I will argue that Sun Tzu's ideas are still useful. My colleague will argue against it. Let's begin. I believe the art of war is still useful today, also for small companies like ours. The book teaches us how to make good plans before we take action. It also says that knowing yourself and knowing competitors is very important. In business, companies must understand both their customers and their competitors. For example, before launching a new product, companies do market research. This is similar to Sun Tzu's ideas. The book also teaches patience, good communication, and smart decision making. These lessons are useful for managers, students, and even sports teams.
Thank you. I respect the book, but I think it's not the best guide for modern life. The book was written for war, and business today is different. Today, companies often work together. They build partnerships and share ideas. The art of war focuses too much on competition. Modern leadership is more about teamwork, trust, and respect. Many successful companies grow because they cooperate with others, not because they defeat them. Can the ideas from war really help businesses?
Yes, business is competitive. Companies fight for customers, employees, and new ideas. Good planning helps businesses avoid mistakes. Sun Tzu says that preparation is the key to success, and this is true for every company.
I disagree. Planning is important, but business should not always be seen as a battle. Employees should work together, and customers want honest companies. Success is not only about winning against competitors.
What is the most important lesson from the book? For me, it is preparation. If you prepare well, you have a better chance to succeed. Students prepare for exams, and football teams prepare for before games. Preparation makes a big difference.
For me, communication is more important than strategy. Modern leaders should listen to their teams and solve problems together. The book talks more about control than about teamwork. Can students learn something from this book?
Yes, students can learn to stay calm. They can organize their work and think before making decisions. These skills are important at university and later in their careers.
Some ideas are useful, but students should also read newer books about leadership. Modern books explain teamwork, diversity, and digital communication much better.
I understand your point, but I think strategy never becomes old. Technology changes and people change, but planning is always important. Without a good strategy, companies often fail.
I disagree. Planning is important, but strategy alone is not enough. Modern companies are successful because they build strong teams and good relationships. Winning is not everything.
But competition is part of business. Every company wants more customers and a better position in the market. Sun Tzu teaches us how to prepare and make smarter decisions. These ideas are still useful today.
I don't think business should be compared to war. Companies should focus more on innovation, trust, and sustainability. These topics are much more important today than defeating competitors.
I think the art of war gives us useful principles that we can adapt to modern situations. We do not have to follow every rule, but the main ideas are still useful and valuable today.
I still believe that modern leadership books are more useful because they focus on today's challenges. The Art of War is an interesting historical book, but it's not the best guide for modern business.
To conclude, I believe that the art of war is still relevant today. It teaches planning, discipline, and strategic thinking. These skills are useful not only in business but also in sports, education, and everyday life. That is why I think the book is still worth reading.
My conclusion is different. The Art of War is an important historical book, and some ideas are still interesting. However, modern leadership requires teamwork, empathy, communication, and innovation. For these reasons, I believe newer books are more helpful for today's business world. Thank you for your listening. We have presented two different opinions about the art of war. Now it's up to you to decide which argument is more convincing.
Thank you for listening as well from me, and stay strategic.